Pray now. God will act while you listen. This is not a regular video, it's a call. You didn't arrive here by chance. Something invisible led you to this moment, to these words, to this prayer. Perhaps you clicked without knowing why, but deep in your heart there is an urgent need, a silent cry, a pain that no one sees. And it is precisely here that God begins to act, when you stop, listen, and open yourself. Before anything else, I want to ask you something simple, yet powerful. Subscribe to the channel now. Turn on notifications and stay until the end. Every prayer here is made with purpose, faith, and spiritual guidance. When you connect, you create an environment where miracles happen, even while you just listen. Perhaps you are tired of fighting alone. Perhaps you are carrying burdens you can no longer explain in words. But today, this prayer will not be just words thrown to the wind. It will be a spiritual act, an alignment between heaven and your life, a real surrender before God. As you listen, something is already beginning to move. God doesn't need you to make an effort. He only needs you to trust. And as this prayer progresses, what was blocked begins to unlock. What was confusing begins to become clear, and what seemed impossible begins to lose its power. Stay with me until the end. Comment on where you're watching from, and write in the comments what you need God to do today, because the next chapter might be exactly where the sky touches your story. Don't leave now. What comes next could completely change the course of your day. God sees what you cannot explain. God sees beyond the words you can formulate. He knows the thoughts you try to hide, the tears you swallow, the fears you pretend not to feel. Nothing you experience goes unnoticed by Him, even when it seems as if heaven is silent. There are battles you fight alone, in the silence of the night, when no one else is watching. Internal questioning, deep insecurities, feelings of inadequacy. But God is present in those moments, not as a distant observer, but as an attentive Father who knows every detail of your pain. Perhaps you are asking for a clear answer, a visible sign, something to confirm that He is listening. But often God begins by working in the unseen, rearranging what you cannot see, preparing paths that have not yet manifested. As you listen to this prayer, God begins to touch areas of your life that were dormant. He begins to restore hope, strengthen your faith, and renew your strength. Even if nothing seems to change on the outside, something profound is already happening on the inside. If this message is speaking to you, enjoy this video now. This simple gesture helps other people find this prayer as well. Now you will understand why God acts in silence before acting in the visible. The silence of God is not absence. God's silence does not mean abandonment. Often it is in silence that He works most profoundly. When you think nothing is happening, heaven is at full activity in your favor. God uses silence to mold your character, strengthen your confidence, and align your heart. He knows exactly the right time to speak and the precise moment to act. And when He acts, everything makes sense, even the longest waits. Perhaps you are tired of waiting, of praying and not seeing immediate results. But understand, God is not late. He prepares you to endure what He is about to release. Silence is the process, not the end. As you listen to this prayer, allow your heart to slow down. Take a deep breath. Trust. God is taking care of details you can't even imagine, protecting you from things that could hurt you later on. If you feel that this word is entering your heart, write "I trust" in the comments. Your statement is a spiritual seed. What comes next? It reveals how prayer activates God's supernatural action now. Prayer moves what seemed still. Prayer is not just a request, it's a spiritual activation. When you pray, something moves in the spiritual world, even if your natural eyes don't yet perceive it. Chains begin to break, doors begin to align, paths begin to open. God answers prayers made with sincerity, not with perfection. You don't need to know how to pray beautifully. You just need to pray with truth. He hears the cry of the heart, even when words fail. As this prayer echoes, God begins to touch situations that were stagnant. What seemed stuck begins to move. What seemed lost begins to be repositioned. Don't underestimate the power of this moment. Even by listening, you are participating. Your spirit is receiving, your faith is being activated, and your hope is being restored. Turn on notifications now, so you don't miss any powerful prayer like this one. You deserve to walk every day under spiritual guidance. Now you will feel God's presence even more intensely. God is closer than you imagine. God is not distant from your pain. He is not indifferent to your struggle. He is closer than you imagine, more attentive than you realize, more involved than you believe. Even when everything seems confusing, God is present. He walks with you through the process, holds your hand in difficult times, and sustains you when your strength fails. As you listen to this prayer, allow yourself to feel this presence. Don't resist, just receive. God is bringing peace to your heart, calming your thoughts, and bringing clarity to your mind. There is a spiritual rest being released now. A relief that doesn't come from circumstances, but from the certainty that God is in control. If you feel that peace coming, comment, "I receive" now. What comes next? It reveals how God transforms pain into purpose. Nothing you've experienced was in vain. God doesn't waste a single tear, a single pain, a single weight. Everything you've experienced is being used for a greater purpose. What hurt you is also making you stronger. Even the most difficult moments are being transformed into learning, maturity, and spiritual growth. God is writing a story that goes beyond what you understand now. As you listen to this prayer, God begins to give new meaning to your past. What once hurt now begins to heal. What seemed like defeat begins to take on new meaning. Trust the process. God is using even what you don't understand to take you to a higher place. Next part of this prayer. This is where God releases hope about your future. Your future is not lost. Even if everything seems uncertain today, God is already in your tomorrow. He sees what you don't yet see, prepares what you don't yet understand, and sustains what you haven't yet achieved. Nothing is out of control. God has already opened paths, aligned people, and prepared answers. Everything happens at the right time, in the right way. As this prayer continues, allow hope to be reborn. Your future is not condemned by your past. God makes all things new. Enjoy this video now, if you choose to believe that the best is yet to come. Now we will say a powerful final prayer that seals it all. God is working now. Father, at this moment, we surrender everything into your hands. Every pain, every fear, every expectation. We trust that while this prayer is being heard, you are working. Visit each person who is listening now. Touch where there is pain. Restore where there is loss. Strengthen where there is weakness. May your peace, which surpasses all understanding, envelop every heart. We declare that doors are opening, paths are being cleared, and miracles are being generated in the unseen. Even without seeing, we choose to trust. May this prayer be a milestone, a before and after, a turning point in the life of whoever hears it. If this prayer spoke to you, subscribe to the channel, share, and stay connected. God will do much more. When you pray, heaven answers in layers. When you pray, God doesn't answer on just one level. The answer comes in layers. First, He calms your heart, then strengthens your mind, and only then does He begin to change your circumstances. Many people give up because they expect to see everything change on the outside, without realizing that God always begins on the inside. As you listen to this prayer, God is organizing confused thoughts, aligning uncontrolled emotions, and restoring areas that were weakened. This is the answer. Even if you don't yet see external signs, heaven has already begun to work in your favor. There are answers that don't come as an immediate miracle, but as strength to continue, clarity to decide, and peace to wait. And these answers are as powerful as what you visibly ask for. God knows exactly how to work in you before He works for you. If you feel something shifting within your heart right now, don't ignore it. This is God touching where no one else can touch. It's the beginning of something new, even if it's still silent. If this word is speaking to you, enjoy the video now, and write in the comments, "God is strengthening me." Now then you will understand why God allows certain delays before victory. The delay is not a negative, it's preparation. What you call delay, God calls preparation. Often, if He delivered what you ask for when you want it, it could hurt you, confuse you, or even distance you from your purpose. God never acts outside of perfect timing. While you wait, He is strengthening you to endure what is to come. There are blessings that require emotional, spiritual, and mental maturity. And God does not give anything that destroys what He loves, you. Perhaps you're tired of hearing, "Wait a little longer." Oh. But know this. Each day of waiting is building something within you that will be essential when the answer arrives. God is not ignoring you. He is shaping you. While you listen to this prayer, God is working precisely in that area where you think nothing is happening. The silence, the process, and even the tears are part of building victory. If you choose to trust, even without understanding, comment now, "I trust in God." Now you will feel the moment when God begins to turn the key in your story. God is turning the key now. There are spiritual moments when God turns the key. It's not something noisy. It's not announced, but it's decisive. From that point on, what previously seemed blocked begins to flow, and what seemed distant begins to draw closer. While you listen to this prayer, God is changing directions, clearing up confusion, and opening paths that you could not open on your own. He acts where your strength cannot reach and resolves what your hands cannot touch. This turnaround begins in the unseen realm. The right people start to appear, opportunities begin to align, and situations begin to lose the weight they once held for you. All of this is God rearranging the landscape. Don't underestimate this moment. You're not just listening to a video. You're participating in a spiritual movement. Your faith is being activated, and your story is being redirected. Activate the notification bell now, so that you can continue receiving prayers like this, and not miss the next moments of spiritual guidance. What God began here today, He will not stop. Prepare to witness His work in the coming days.